Boom, 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 yeah. Boom, 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 yeah. Boom, 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 yeah.
Hello humans, welcome once more to the channel. It doesn't go all the way around. Hello, this is, to be honest, the one of the most unexpected videos of the channel, especially because I literally just got home from school and I was like, you know what? Let me just start recording this. The thought popped in my head. I know I don't owe to anyone to say anything. I have two choices: keep it to myself or use share it. But guess what? We're gonna share it. We are going to share it. Why? Because some of you guys know all the drama behind the drama that I've gone through. But at some point I stopped letting everyone know my business. I stopped allowing a lot of people to come and help me or give me a hug just because I was sad. Because I don't know, it's just all fucking messed up, if I'm being honest. It's like I have so many trust issues that is like I don't really allow, if anything, anyone other than maybe two or three people to like legit see who I am when I am at my best and when I am at my worst. So, oh my god, this is scary, especially talking to literally you guys. I don't know some of you guys' faces at all. But here I am still, you know? We're gonna get through this. We are going to get through this. For today's video, we are going to be talking about what I just said, literally trauma behind drama. And I want to clarify, I'm not here to attack anyone from my past. I'm not here. Believe me, I have moved on from all the shit that has happened to me. In a way that like I don't really feel hate towards anyone at all. No matter how bad you hurt me, what I'm gonna do is just protect myself, cut you off, whatever. But I don't really hate people. Why? Because it's not something that I'm trying to do for the rest of my life. Because if I wanted to hate people, god dang, I would be hating a lot of people. And what would that bring me? Nothing, right? So what I'll do is instead I will learn from what has happened to me and move forward. As hard or as easy as it can be, because you never know. You know? Yeah. First thing first, let's talk about our daddy issues. Yes, why not, right? Everyone has them, or most of the population, I think. What am I supposed to say here? I know what I'm supposed to say, but I don't know how to say it. Let me tell you, everything started when I first. So, okay, let me give you the real. Let me start from the beginning. I was born in here in where I'm living right now, but when I was little, my mom and my dad they decided they had to go to Mexico. Then a couple months over there, I was still like 3 months, not even 3 months, dude. I was like still like a little bean, a little ass bean. What happened is that my dad made a decision to come back. He asked my mom, "You want to come back? You want to stay?" She obviously said she would stay because of my grandma, because she was sick at the moment. And I obviously stayed with my mom. It wasn't until I was 14 years old that I got to come to the country, and it was the first time I met my mom. My mom. What the hell? I met my dad. It was exciting and scary, not gonna lie, because the whole time I used to talk to him through the phone. I don't know how, but I didn't even have a picture of him. Like, I didn't even know what my dad looked like, if I'm being honest. And what happened is, like, the trip was a whole thing. It was a new experience again. Life is full of new experiences, huh? And I got to stay with my aunts at my aunt's house. My dad came in, and I still remember vividly the moment that I got to legit see my dad for the first time. Let me tell you, I didn't know I wanted to meet my dad so bad until I met him. And everything was like perfect, y'all. Like, it was like, first of all, vacation to another country, fuck yeah. Second of all, I'm gonna get to meet my dad, fuck yeah. And then, like, we will be here, like, we got home, we got here to Colorado from New Mexico. And I mean, not gonna lie, it's probably the only time where my dad legit showed me that he was happy to literally see me and have me next to him, as sad and disappointing as that sounds. Because I swear to you, I was the happiest kid that felt like he had a dad for a whole month. And I remember that feeling only lasts a month. And here is why I say this. So, the month is here. He called off work. He didn't want to go to work. Like, he called off for like a whole week at the beginning. We were just like, he would take me places. He would take me anywhere, everywhere, at any time. Even if we had to go to the freaking store that is like 2 minutes away from the house, he will be like, let's go. Like, he will always make sure like we were together. We were having quality time. Um, it was a good experience. I still smile thinking of those memories that I had as a kid, and I barely remember what I did yesterday. So if I remember when I was 14 years old, how the experience with my dad was, that says something. I go back to Mexico. I finish school over there, and then a year later, I made a decision that I want to come and start something here. It was one of the hardest decisions to make because, one, I was never apart from my mom, like, long ass distance, and from my sister either, and this was a whole new world. I didn't know any English at all, like, at all. I couldn't even say hi to people because I would be like, I don't know how to say that. It's literally two words, but I couldn't say it. Heartbreaking, but excitement at the same time coming here, having to say bye to my mom and my sister. That was sad. But, like, I was eventually trying to, like, we keep thinking about the positive. I get here. That's the thing. I get here, and I think at the beginning, like, it wasn't too much difference. I was just like, me, my dad, and my stepmom, we were looking into, like, the high school I was gonna get into. Who is that? Is that the cat? Hold on. It was literally the cat. I don't know what the cat was doing, but he legit made it. It sounded like there was a person out there. We look into the high school, things. We start getting my life back on track here in the country, because I pretty much didn't exist here. Like, there was nothing because I lived my whole life in Mexico, though I was born in here. It wasn't for me, high school, y'all, if I'm being honest. It wasn't an experience that I want to remember for the rest. What are you doing, bro? Oh my god. Do you want to go out or you want to stay in? That's what I thought. Ciao. Anyways, sorry. High school is not an experience that I honestly remember, and I don't want to remember because it wasn't something fun for me. Like people were being racist towards me most of my time in high school. Well, my first year at least. Um, that's a crazy thing though. Like even people that didn't know English either, because that's the group that they put me with. They were literally they had the audacity to make fun of me when they were literally in the same circumstances, or they were even worse than I was. And let me tell you, I didn't know any fucking English at all. So that says something about those people. You know, experiences, okay, I wasn't the best, the happiest student in high school, but I was still gonna be like, okay, I was still like, I am here, so might as well do what you can do to make it worth it. So, I started practicing English by myself. I started pushing myself, speaking uh, in English as much as I could. People will always make fun of me, but in the other hand, people who legit care about, especially my teachers, my pronunciation and my understanding and everything, they will correct me. And then by the end of high school, I literally learned more English than those people who had someone translating for them 24/7. It's like, bruh, you were making fun of me, and now I can make fun of you, but I won't. You know why? Because I'm mature. As I was in high school, it's a different diversity than in Mexico. So it's like I start seeing like people just being who the fuck they wanna be. They were just being themselves. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. Like you don't give a fuck about what people says. You are literally just being you. Fuck yeah, I support that. And so what happened is I came to the conclusion, I realized that I was gay. And it's not just like I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm gay. No, it's just like literally I sat down and I was 15 years old probably by this time. Um, almost 16. I sat down and I was like, okay, you know what? This is interesting because I never put a thought into it about like, I don't know, me always looking at the guys more than the girls, or being actually attracted by the male figure. I sit down, I was like, okay, what's going on? Let's talk with each other. It was like one of the first times I started talking to myself, because not gonna lie, most of the times I have to talk to myself in order to know what the fuck Abe and Abraham want, because it's two different people. Okay, let me tell you that. I even from the simple fact when I was a kid, like I know toys don't have a gender, but like you are pretty much able to see what a kid is into. And so I was like, okay, this makes sense. This also makes sense. This and this and this and whatever the fuck. So I was like, okay, I think I am. I even Googled like what being gay meant. Like I went in and did my research. It's like maybe I'm tripping. Maybe this is. So yeah, I realized that. It didn't take me long for me to share the information with my friends. Most of them they were like, "Oh, I already knew," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." Um, it gets tricky when I wrote a note for my dad and actually my stepmom too. Um, yeah. I remember writing down the note, like, explaining everything to them. Mostly my dad. I was like going into more detail with my dad's note. And then I I text my mom and I was like, "Hey mom, are you free Friday, let's say?" She was like, "Yeah, what's up?" It's like, "Oh, no, no, nothing. I'll call you and I'll tell you." Me trying to make an appointment to tell her I was gay. And I don't know, like she instantly like knew. She was like, "Tell me, like you're not gonna tell me. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something, but I'm gonna wait until Friday," because that's something that Abe tends to do. Like put the excitement in there. but don't do it with me because I hate that shit. And you know, I don't know. It was like that moment where I was like, okay, you know what? You already started that conversation, so you might as well go to the point. I called her. I went outside. I was obviously in tears. I was like, Mom, I'm sorry. I don't want to disappoint you. Please forgive me. Shalala, shalala. I'm gay. She obviously, like, she got emotional too. She started crying and everything, but she was like, I already knew it. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, yeah, I already knew it. I'm like, huh? And she cried and, like, she vented to me because she said, like, I'm just, like, worried about, like, all the shit that, like, people from the community, like, has to go through in order for them to be respected and seen and shalala shalala. I was like, yeah, I get that, but you know what? There's nothing that is gonna get in my way for me to stop being who I am. That's what I went wrong. Why? Let me tell you. Because by that time, that same night, I don't know what I posted on Facebook. I was huge on Facebook and feelings. I will mix both of them. And I posted something about, like, a butterfly, girl, whatever the fuck you can think of a butterfly evolving. My dad came into my room and I remember he was mad. And he was like, well, what's going on? And I was like, I legit, like, all this happened, dude. Well, I didn't plan on telling anyone this that same day. But guess what? Life was like, baby boy, if you have to come out, you have to come out, and it's now. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. But, I couldn't, skip the conversation and, like, the weird feelings and everything. So I told my dad, look under my desk, and you find a note, a card. One is for you, one is for my stepmom. My dad locked himself in the fucking room, and I was freaking out. I legit was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what is this guy gonna say? Am I gonna get my ass beat up? Am I gonna get yelled at? Am I gonna get kicked out? I don't know. Like, my brain went to all the possibilities out there. The negative ones. I locked myself in the bathroom, and then I'm texting my mom this whole time. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to do. I'm scared, this and this and this and that. And then she was just trying to calm me down. Like, in an hour and a half goes by, and then she's like, my dad comes out, and he just, like, sits down with me, next to me, and he's like, is this temporary? I'm like, I don't think so. He's like, how do you know? And I'm like, well, I know I'm attracted to guys. I know I like guys. I know something that I've been carrying with me for a while, but I was just not able to see it. Instantly, limitations started to come out of his damn mouth. He was like, you know what? I've always been into, like, pop. You guys who know me, like, you guys know my music genre is, like, pretty much into everything. But when I was a kid, I was mostly like, like the poppy girl, like, He was like, okay, I don't want you playing your music when people listen around the house. I was like,
bombastic side eye.
He's like, does this mean are you gonna come out, like, out of your room with a dress and makeup? And there's nothing wrong with that, dude, But I wasn't trying to do all that shit just for being gay. So I was like, well, first of all, sir, I'm not interested in that. I like being me, and I'm still discovering who the fuck I am. But yeah, like, don't go there. He went there anyways. He was like, well, please, no makeup, no dresses, no nothing, too girly or whatever. And he also told me, you cannot tell anyone, especially our family. And I was like, oh. But because I think, like, that's the thing with my dad, though. Like, he claims to hate gossip, yet he's always involved in it. But the weird thing is, like, he's not involved in it because he wants to, is because the way he is. That's why he's always getting in trouble with, my aunts, and like there's been a whole drama. And if my cousins are watching this, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, like no pelos en la lengua, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, it was just messed up. They left to Las Vegas like what, like a day or 2 days after that. I felt completely alone, dude. Like lonely, 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 lonely. The whole house was death, literally. Like it was in silence, and I was just in my room crying in silence every 5 minutes because I would get emotional out of nowhere. I would still try to lift myself up, like play music, to play videos that I like, whatever the fuck. But I just couldn't help it. Um, it just, I don't know. The day that I came out, since I came out, my dad literally did a whole 180 on me. Like that person became a stranger to me just because he distanced himself from me. He legit wouldn't even look at me or talk to me unless he really, 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 really had to. You know what I mean? I was just like, I was so lost. I was like, oh my God, like, does this mean like, is our relationship gonna be like this? I was so confused. But at the same time, I was relieved because I didn't have to like, especially with my dad, and my mom, I didn't have to like literally fake me being someone that I wasn't. The only problem is I was supposed to fake when other people was around my dad and me together or in the house I was living at the moment. There was, I don't know, I would literally sometimes, I would, not gonna lie though, like though high school wasn't an experience I like to remember and that I liked, I would like to stay like in school before staying at the house, because at the house it was just such an ugly vibe, dude. Like I didn't feel welcome, if I'm being honest, at all. It was just like getting home from school. As I was walking towards the house, I was like, I would have this ugly feeling in my chest, in my stomach. I would just like, I don't know, start overthinking everything. Like, oh my God, am I gonna just like get home, walk straight up to my room? Am I gonna say hi? Am I not? Like it was just confusion. I was so damn confused, so damn confused, like hella. And it stayed like that for like, I'm pretty sure a whole year. And even though like since that moment was the moment that marked the future between me and my dad. Do you have something to say? You want to share something? Okay. Since that moment, I don't know, me and my dad, we were never able to connect again. And at some point I tried when I had to move back to his house. Because at some point I moved out and then I had to move back in. But even when I tried, there was nothing from his side. He built this barrier between me and him that I feel like it became a little bit too strong that not even him was able to break. And that I wasn't gonna fix. I wasn't gonna go and fix it, I put my part, I tried, I really did try. But then he was the one who was legit just rejecting me and avoiding. I don't know, it is weird. It is because of someone's mentality. A whole relationship, especially between father and son, got fucked up. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it is. As it sounds in the present, as it was in the moment, that is what it is. I'm not gonna make this video longer than what already is, but I'm gonna keep talking about this. Like, I'm gonna go into small details that I want you guys to know, especially the reason why I'm doing this is because, again, I want to open up. I want to tell you guys straight up how I dealt with things, like how I had to take all the bad shit and turn it into something good in order for me to keep moving on. I'll be continuing the story. Don't worry, I will. For now, that's just the start of how things started to look. That's the beginning of what today's results are, because I know you guys might not understand what I'm talking about, but you guys will, because I'm gonna keep talking about this. Right now, it's just like a quick intro to the trauma behind the trauma episode, season, whatever you want to call it. I'll see you guys next video, and make sure you stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for the love. Thank you for subscribing, liking the videos. Thank you for the support on the last video, actually, too. That makes me pretty happy that you guys liked the combination of me and Noelia juntos. I'll see you guys around. Bye.
Boom, 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 yeah. Boom, 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 yeah.